My sister abandoned me when I was jailed. Now, she and my toxic family are asking me to donate my bone marrow because she has leukemia, but I refused and told her to find someone else. My older sister Holly was diagnosed with leukemia in 2015 and asked me to donate my bone marrow for her transplant. I was the only match for her, and even though it was extremely painful, I did it because she was my sister. I was happy to do it but was hurt when no one thanked me or asked how I was doing after the procedure. After the surgery, I was there in the bed in pain and no one came to my side. Everyone was hovering over her and checking on her recovery. I had trouble walking for 3 days and it felt like I had caught a really bad bruise on my hip. I was on pain meds for maybe half a day and was able to walk unassisted for a week after the surgery. I was forced to tend to myself even though I just donated because no one in the family would like to help me out. I never really got over that experience, but I was happy for my sister to be better. This wasn't going to be the first time that my family didn't care about me. Later that year, I was caught with possession of an illegal substance which landed me 2 years in prison, but I could have avoided prison if my sister had helped pay my bail. Since my sister refused to pay a dime toward my freedom, the least she could have done was to help me when I was released. Ex-cons have a hard time getting back into the real world and need a job to get back on their feet. My sister refused again to help me and didn't want to give me a job. She and her husband own a bunch of fancy restaurants. Whatever I could do, mop floors or wash dishes. Mind you, I have a master's degree but she said no. Not that she couldn't but she wouldn't and had thousands of excuses. But I honestly believe that it's because she thinks that my record could tarnish the reputation of her restaurant. This gave me the drive to try harder to do better for myself, so I climbed my way up from a regular part-time job in sales to a corporate position. It is all thanks to my boss who trusted me even though I have a record. I went from sleeping in my car at the cemetery to living in a spacious condo by the ocean. No one helped me. Don't get me wrong, I didn't expect my family to help me and they were not obligated. I was just angry that if the roles were reversed then I'd help out. I completely cut off my family because I realized they were toxic. But one day I got a call from my mother. She said Holly's leukemia is back and she needs another transplant. I asked how that was my problem. I haven't spoken to Holly in almost 10 years. My mother said I was the only match. I said, no, I'm not the only match. There's someone else out there who is also a match. She asked me if I was refusing to donate and I said that was correct. Screw her. I helped her out without thinking and when I needed help she blew me off. I know she wouldn't do it for me so I'm not doing it for her. Let her find someone else. My bone marrow business is closed. Had Holly cared enough to bail me out of prison or even give me a janitor job at her restaurant, maybe things would have been different. Holly called me and was crying telling me that she needed me and I immediately ended the call and blocked all numbers of my family. I don't have the energy to give to a toxic family who could care less about me.